I told about Holger Harrivirta. He was the second director, and he was a very skillful man, and he was good in organizing things, and he could film himself. He was a cinematographer, very good one, and he organized. Actually, he was the one who organized the shooting of the Finnish Olympics in Helsinki in 1952. So Harrivirta organized the filming of Sampo in Finland during the summer of 1957, when they had to film in the big lakes in the center of Finland. He borrowed this tugboat, so you can tug the boats behind it, and then these big barges that were meant to accommodate workmen in the woods. So these barges could be transferred to lakes from one place to another. And all this Sampo film crew and the actors, they lived in these barges for several weeks in the Finnish wilderness. And then the shooting of Sampo was made in the Soviet Union, and Harrivirta helped also in the Soviet Union. So Holger Harrivirta was very good in what he did, very good in organizing things, but he did not have such good creative ideas. He was kind of narrow-minded, and he didn't understand the interpretation of Alexander Ptushko, because Alexander Ptushko was this great fairy tale man, and he actually invented the Bylina films that were based on Slavic legends, and so he made this Sampo legend like a Slavic legend and a kind of fairy tale with all these Disney animals and things and songs, but Harrivirta didn't understand that, and he just devastated some Ptushko's ideas. And Ptushko wanted to show how happy Annikki was when he fell in love with Lemminkäinen. So he wanted to decorate the pine trees with these Christmas ornaments. And Harrivirta told the crew that you can't make it this way. You can't have these Christmas ornaments in this Sampo film because it's epic and it has to be made a certain way, and there should be no Christmas ornaments. So the crew actually told Ptushko that they wouldn't decorate the trees that way because it was wrong. Also, there was this scene where the tulips are growing from the earth, and Annikki is there like, wow, tulips. But Harrivirta thought that it was wrong because he knew that there were no tulips in Finland that time around the year 1000 or something. So it was wrong. You shouldn't do that. And then there was this squirrel thing because Alexander Ptushko loved squirrels, and he had even this stuffed squirrel or toy squirrel already in his previous film, the Ilja Muromets. There were these funny scenes, and Ptushko wanted to make this scene with Annikki in the woods and with squirrels. So he filmed some live squirrels, and then he decided that we need some puppetry also, so we used toy squirrels. And then he said to his assistant Lennart Lauramaa that you are no good because you can't even make the squirrel move the right way. Lauramaa thought it was something, and he got sulking and left Ptushko to do whatever he wants with his squirrels. And then Harrivirta found this assistant Lauramaa and asked, what is this thing? What is this thing about these squirrels? And Lauramaa said, I can't make it right. He makes it himself. And then Harrivirta goes to see, what is Ptushko doing? Oh, Ptushko is playing with some toy squirrels there, and then he made some very sarcastic remarks, and Ptushko just lost his nerve totally. And when the scenes were screened for the crew later with these squirrels, it was clear that they are just so bad that you can't use them, because in every take they were so badly masked that that Ptushko's hand or Ptushko's behind or something was in every picture. So the one thing they shot in Petrozavodsk, it's in the very beginning of the film. Ptushko wanted that the big trees are falling like dominoes, one after another. And then Harri Virta said to him, but you can't put the camera here because it's possible that some of the trees are so tall that they fall over the camera. So we need to move camera over here. But Ptushko said, no, I want the camera here. So Harri Virta negotiated with the camera crew, and then they suggested that if they dig a pit, like a shelter for the camera and the men, and then put some logs over it to protect them from the woods if someone is falling. And then they did that. And the moment they started the shooting with the falling trees, one by one, some 2 or 3 very, very tall trees fell right over that pit. And everybody was shocked, and it took half an hour to dig those men and the camera out of the pit. It was clear to everyone that if there was not that shelter, they would be dead. So Harri Virta was constantly complaining about everything. Well, he was a right-wing man, and he didn't like communism, he didn't like Russians, but he had to work in the Soviet Union for a whole year. 1958, because it took time to film everything that should be done. One disappointment for Harri Virta was that when he was having his 2-week leave in Finland, and he has left in Moscow studio, he has left all the material that was gathered for the Finnish version of the Sampo film. So all the scenes that he had himself shot and all the scenes that were ready for the Finnish version. And when Harri Virta came back, he found out that Ptushko had been there searching something he needed, and everything was upside down. But he kept his mouth shut that time and arranged the material again and started to work on it. But he also enjoyed his time in the Soviet Union, because every time it was possible he went to see ballet and opera, and also he found out this way. He found out something he didn't want to. He went to see the opera Ruslan I Lyudmila by Glinka. It's based on Pushkin's poem, and then he understood that there is this Ruslan and Lyudmila wedding scene, that it's very much similar than the wedding scene of Annikki and Lemminkäinen in the Sampo film that was just made. And then he was horrified if someone in Finland understands that in this Finnish Sampo film there is this Ruslan and Lyudmila wedding scene. Oh God. But of course, because Ptushko was a great opera fan, he of course made it intentionally, and there is this nice intertextualism between Ruslan and Lyudmila and Sampo, because in Ruslan and Lyudmila there is a witch, a Finnish witch that helps Ruslan and Lyudmila, and of course the Sampo film is about Finns. Maybe Risto Orko thought that if he puts Holger Harri Virta to help Ptushko, then because Ptushko is this great inventor of ideas, then Harri Virta could learn some very great tricks from Ptushko and later use those in these commercial films that were made by Suomi Filmi. But it didn't quite succeed his plan, because after all this Sampo production, Harri Virta was so dead tired that he wanted just to have some weeks of vacation with his family when he came back to Finland. But Orko said that there is this new commercial thing you should shoot, that it's already behind the schedule, Welcome to Finland. And Harri Virta was so shocked about this, that he was not respected at all, that he quit his job in Suomi Filmi.